And because we like to at least try to end the day, if not the week, with some good news, while it was a little tough this week, we found something. It was bad news for Jupiter, actually. Look at this loop of video shot by an amateur astronomer. It shows Jupiter getting hit by what was a massive fireball, apparently an asteroid or a comet, attempting to enter our solar system. Now, where's the good news here? As one astronomer put it, quote, Jupiter took one for the team, helping life on Earth evolve without too many impact events to ruin our day. So these days, we'll take our good news wherever we can find it.
All of us on this planet are on the brink of a kind of close encounter. A big asteroid is hurtling through space, and it's supposed to miss us by a cosmic inch, just 17,000 miles. That's closer than some of our weather satellites. In fact, it's so close, scientists are springing into action, and here's ABC's Neil Karlinski.
Right now, while you're watching this, a chunk of space rock big enough to level a city is hurtling towards our planet 8 times faster than a speeding bullet. The good news is, scientists say it will miss. The scary news is, the 130,000 metric ton asteroid called DA-14 is the size of half a football field, and it will be much closer than the moon. In fact, it will thread the needle between Earth and the roughly 600 satellites around us, the ones that your cell phone relies on, possibly even smashing one to smithereens on its way by. But if that's why you're thinking this is all still a long, long way from all of us way down here walking the streets, you may want to think again. The last close call turned out to be a direct hit. It was 1908, and luckily it hit the middle of nowhere, Siberia, decimating 1,000 miles of trees, but no people.
If a very large asteroid hit, it would probably create the same kind of disaster that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Amazingly, no one knew DA-14 was headed our way until a Spanish dentist and amateur astronomer randomly discovered it a year ago. We just know what's out there, headed our way. Neil Karlinski, ABC News, Seattle.
The meteor that rocketed into Russia really got our attention a few weeks back. We learned today about the threat of such things to our modern world. In the meteor and asteroid tracking business, they call the big ones city killers. And while there was very little good news today about our chances of getting them before they get us, there was some talk about future remedies. Our report tonight from NBC's Stephanie Gosk.
Last month, a meteor rocketed into the atmosphere and exploded over Russia. Frightening because the shockwave blew out windows and injured 1,200 people.
It came out of the sun. It came from a direction where our telescopes could not look.
Today at a hearing on Capitol Hill, leading space scientists told lawmakers the U.S. is not prepared to defend itself against meteors of the same size.
If you detected even a small one, like the one that detonated in Russia, headed for New York City in 3 weeks, what would we do?
The answer to you is if it's pray.
Scientists say they have identified all asteroids large enough to wipe out the planet, like the one suspected of killing off the dinosaurs, and there is no immediate risk. The concern is meteors that are smaller, but still big enough to take out a city.
The number of undetected potential city killers is very large. It's in the range of 10,000 or more.
The probability of impact is low, they say, but at present funding levels, NASA believes it will take almost 20 years to identify them all. What would help is an infrared telescope. The government won't pay for one, but a former astronaut is looking to build the first ever privately funded deep space telescope. NASA is collaborating on the project, but the space agency says it still needs more money to identify and develop ways to protect the planet.
A good segment of the population thinks it's just a matter called Bruce Willison, and notwithstanding we don't have a shuttle anymore.
Hollywood's version is definitely a bit dramatic, but scientists say there is reason to be concerned. The meteor in Russia was like a shot across the bow. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, New York.
A dazzling visitor from deepest space. The approach of Comet Ison has been avidly watched by astronomers. But now this huge ball of ice and rock is entering the solar danger zone. This comet has been on an epic journey. It began at the very edge of our solar system and has been hurtling towards us at more than 1 million kilometres an hour, passing the planets, including our own. Now it's looping around the sun, but will it survive? Ison might follow the path of another comet called Lovejoy. In 2011, as it raced towards the sun, the intense gravitational field and fierce heat ripped it apart. But Ison's large size could protect it. The heat could ignite the dust and gas in its core, allowing it to blaze a trail across the night skies. It would be visible in the northern hemisphere in early December.
At the optimistic end, it's visible to the naked eye that if you get a pair of binoculars, you can see both the comet's head, the coma, and a nice long tail coming from that. That would be a really good comet. It'll be a comet, if it's like that you have to get up early in the morning to see, but nonetheless it would be a pretty good one by the standards of these things.
This close encounter is a chance to study one of the oldest objects in our solar system up close, and space telescopes are trained on the comet. But these recent NASA images suggest Ison is buckling under the heat. Stargazers will have to wait to find out if it lives up to its billing as the comet of the century. Rebecca Morrell, BBC News.
I don't know if something has survived or not. It's early stages yet. We have to wait a couple of hours to see if the comet comes on the other side, as it has happened before with other comets.
Right.
But in this case, I think the comet was very soft material and it just vaporized, I think.
Because, I mean, we heard it was something like a snowball, throwing a snowball at the sun.
Exactly,
I mean,
that kind of thing.
It didn't have much of a chance then of surviving.
Well, it depends on how compact, how solid this snowball is, because it's a mixture of water and different substances like methane and ammonia.
That's
and
what a comet is.
Carbon
It's kind of made out of
dioxide,
soft material.
And it's all this is frozen. It's like a frost that is covering this dust. And then if the dust is not very rocky, say it's very, very fragmented, it will evaporate. It will vaporize.
New Year's Asteroid Strike, presented by Science at NASA. In 2014, the new year began with a bang on the order of about 500 tons of TNT. That's how much energy asteroid 2014 AA is estimated to have delivered to Earth's atmosphere when it exploded over the Atlantic Ocean on January 1st at approximately 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2014 AA was the first asteroid discovered in 2014. Astronomers of the Catalina Sky Survey found it during the early hours of January 1st using one of their telescopes near Tucson, Arizona. Our encounter with this space rock the size of a small compact car didn't last long, however. It was only 21 hours before it crashed into Earth's atmosphere. No damage was done, says Don Yeomans of the Near-Earth Object Program at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It disintegrated harmlessly high above Earth's surface.
Did you notice not one drop of rain could fall until Noah went in the ark? The clouds was hanging over, the thunder and lightning a roaring. But no rain fell till Noah went in. And the angel said to Lot, I can't do nothing till you come hither. No fire could fall. Not one drop of that brimstone hanging in the skies could ever fall on Sodom till Lot went out. It's correct. Jesus said, just as it was then, so will it be in the coming of the Son of Man. Certainly. All hail down out of heaven. You know the last days are supposed to be them plagues repeat again? You remember an adulterer in the Bible time, his penalty was death by stoning. The unbelieving church will be stoned dead. Well, hailstones is once God's way of punishment. They'll stone this unbelieving world as a adulterous generation. He'll scold it from heaven with hailstones weighing a talent apiece, which is 100 pounds. The adulterous church will die. The adulterous world will die under the punishment of God under stoning like it did in the beginning. Get right with God, church. That's what we all must do. Get back to God.
The circuit-riding preacher used to ride across the land with a rifle on his saddle and a Bible in his hand. He told the prairie people all about the promised land as he went riding, singing down the trail. Leaning, leaning, safe and secure from all alarm. Leaning, leaning, leaning on the everlasting arms. The circuit-riding preacher traveled through the mire and mud, told about the fiery furnace and of Noah and the flood. He preached the way to heaven was by water and the blood as he went riding, singing down the trail. Power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb.